Naadiya Moosajee was named by Forbes magazine as one of the top 20 youngest power women in Africa. And since then, you hold many key positions in companies and organizations. Today, you're a speaker at AccsoCon, where it's all about tech, sustainability, and shaping a better future with software. What is your relationship with these topics?
So I am so excited to be here, firstly. Sustainability, technology, and the future is something that I work with every day. If I could choose a title, it would be Chief Tinkering Officer, to be able to think about how we think about technology solutions, but in a sustainable way so that we leave no one behind and we build an inclusive future. And so this is my day-to-day job in terms of thinking about that intersection of technology, sustainability, and the future.
Yeah, that's great. So your talk is called Software for a Better World, How Augmented Humanity Will Shape Our Future. Now, the first part is a slogan from Accso. I recognized it right away. But what's the second part, Augmented Humanity, all about?
So augmented humanity is something that I'm very passionate about. So everybody's talking about artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And that's the onus and the pressure is all on the technology. And we usually say in AI, we're going to put the human in the loop. I think that we need to focus on the human and put the AI in the loop. Mm-hmm. And that's what augmented humanity is about. It's about putting the human at the center and being able to leverage technology for us to be better humans, to be better productive humans, and to look at the opportunity of technology to be able to create prosperity for all.
All right. And where's that motivation come from? Is it a bit of awareness that humans should stay in control, or is it like an AI safety thing or fear of technology overtaking? Where is it coming from?
So augmented humanity really came from seeing how everybody focused on AI and the fear that AI brings. You know, AI is going to come and take my job. Yeah. But actually, when we start to look at how technology can shape the next generation, that for me becomes really interesting because, for example, my son is 2 years old. He will never know a world without AI. I was the last generation to be born that had no access to the internet for a few years. So I was born both online and offline. So I remember this world. Right? And for me, what augmented humanity looks like is how do we make sure that the generation that comes now and after us are able to live in a world where they can use technology in ethical ways, but also to be able to make better decisions and create better inclusive societies. And for me, also about prosperity, right? And being able to shift power and opportunity to make it more fair and equal.
Yeah, that's a very important thing. Now we have more in common than just our topics, and I'm talking about our residences. Like you're right now in Germany, yeah, but you live in South Africa, is that correct?
Yes, I live in South Africa.
Yes, and with Accso, we built exactly sustainable software out of Germany and out of Cape Town in South Africa. Now, over the years, you visited over 30 different countries and you've seen a lot. So what do you think are the characteristics of South Africa, and what is different about the continents and countries when it comes to progressive technology?
So for me, what's really exciting is Africa is the youngest continent by age of population. And because young people today are so integrated with technology, and so the research that has come out right now shows that 79% of African youth use AI every day. Now, if you think about technology adoption, a young African continent, it's almost a sandbox for innovation. And you're starting to see this come out in a very live and practical way. So if you think about fintech, where did fintech start? It started in Nairobi, right, with M-Pesa. And that was SMS technology to move money because we didn't have the infrastructure. So for me, on the African continent, it's about how do we leverage technology to leapfrog our development challenges. And that's where the exciting opportunities come for all of us.
Wow, that makes me really excited about your talk tomorrow. So, and I've done some digging about your background too. So you have a consulting background, right? Yeah. What do you enjoy in the job as a consultant?
So I'm an engineer first, and I think for me that's really important because as a tinkerer, it's around how do we, engineers just think differently. And so when we're helping our clients and our partners, it's around being able to go back to those engineering principles and solve problems from first principles. And for me, it's about solving problems in innovative ways. And I think that's exciting. And so every day is a completely different day. I'm having to solve a different problem every day. No day is the same. So because I get bored very easily, I think this is the ideal job for me.
Yeah, I think in the conversations you're going to have with us, you will see we have a very analytical, practical way of thinking of things, about best practices, trying to get the best solution about problems. And that's also what I enjoy about talking with engineers and in that case also bringing that knowledge to other companies in a consulting way, for example. So you're not only tinkering in AI, you also have some connections to cybersecurity, right? So do you have a cybersecurity company, or what are you doing in that field?
Yeah, so I have a cybersecurity startup called CyberFence. And it started out actually because we were cyberbullied as an organization. And like many people, and especially many women, are being bullied online. And I'm the kind of person that goes, I just can't stand by and see a problem. I have to solve it. And so that's what CyberFence started out, trying to keep people safer online and having better online experiences. And then you started to dig deeper and you start to see how many SMMEs are closing because they can't actually manage cyber attacks or recovery from cyber attacks. And so this starts to cost people jobs and money. Yeah. And this becomes a deeply personal mission for me to be able to create a safer world, a more equitable world. And so our cybersecurity startup right now uses AI to be able to do digital scans for your footprint and then gives you a scorecard. And you can take that scorecard and it gives trust to bigger companies that they can work with you as an SMME because you're cyber safe. Because in a supply chain, you're only as strong as your weakest link. And so if we are able to strengthen cybersecurity for SMMEs, they'll be stronger in the links of global supply chains.
That's good. You have to start small and then scale up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you describe yourself as an entrepreneur. So what do you think are the key factors for success in a perhaps supportive environment, or maybe in a perhaps competitive environment?
So I think one of the key things is around resilience. The road as an entrepreneur is not easy at all. And a lot of the time it's a very thankless task to be an entrepreneur, to kind of build new solutions, to bring something different to the world. And I think if you have resilience, and also you've got to be stubborn. Because people are going to tell you, no, this doesn't work, or, why do you want to do this? Go do something that's easy. And sure, the easy path is great and it's comfortable, but actually the world doesn't change out of comfort. It changes out of agony and solving the agony. And so for me, that's what entrepreneurs do. And you've got to be able to problem solve, be resilient, and be stubborn.
Yeah, I will second that, especially the stubbornness thing, And there's a quote that comes to my mind if I hear that, like John F. Kennedy said, we fly to the moon not because it's easy, but because it's hard. And that's maybe the mindset you have to have as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So there is also a South African saying, that I heard from you, I think. The saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. And if you want to go far, go together. Yeah. How does that saying manifest for you?
Yeah, and and I think this has always been like in my entrepreneurial ventures, and especially as founders, you could try and go and solve this problem alone. But I always think about the problems in the world today that we face, and I think about them as wicked challenges, right? So whether it's climate change, and thinking about sustainability different, whether it's digital transformation and leaving people behind, whether it's, inequality. There's so many challenges that the world faces today. We can't all solve that on our own. Okay, and so when we start to bring people together and we collectively work towards solving it, we'll solve it faster. Because then it's the power of the collective thinking, it's the power of bringing in new voices, new ideas. And that for me is exciting, is around making sure that we bring everybody as part of solving some of these wicked challenges we face today.
Cool. So you took a long time to travel from South Africa to Frankfurt for the AccsoCon. What drew you to Accso and make you take that route?
So two things. I mean, for me, Accso is a really special company. I met them first in South Africa at National Women's Month in South Africa. I was a speaker at the event. And I love the work that you're doing. You know, when you're thinking about software in building a safer, sustainable world, I think that for me resonates really well. And so when the team asked me to please come out to Germany for AccsoCon, I was just like, okay, cool, what's AccsoCon? And in my head, I was thinking like, Tony Stark Iron Man and like, one of those like big tech events where there's like new Iron Man suits and stuff, but, the software version of that, not the hardware version. But, for me, it was around how do I, be true to some of the amazing people I've met at Accso in Cape Town, but also bring a very special message around the time for Africa is now. And so helping everybody in the room understand that there's some real strategic opportunities for the African continent when it comes to software development, when it comes to sustainability, and when it comes to the work that Accso is doing. And for me, coming to Germany with that message is really around being able to go further, faster together.
That's great. If I look at your culture and some of the ideas that are sticking around, not only that saying, but also the saying from Nelson Mandela, where he said education is the most powerful weapon to change the world, and we are changing it for the better. I think that's a relationship that we should strengthen. Thank you so much, Naadiya.
Dankeschön.
Awesome.